A questionnaire I put together for the Big Kevin. The Big Kevin Show. Everybody knows the Big Kevin Show. Mostly it's based on drama and or what some might call hate speech, but he believes it's freedom of speech to be able to lie about what other people's capabilities are, what other people's view counts are, in fact, whether or not they're real, whether or not their subscriber base is real, whether or not the other person actually earned the subscribers. In this case, myself, who I know for a fact that if we were to be able to put it all, ALL, as in the movie with that famous guy, where you bet all. He said all. What was the name of that? The red butterfly. The guy. Oh, that's a really famous movie. All. He said all. So if Big Kevin was able to bet all, that would mean everything. Or put it all on the table, Big Kev. Put it all out there on the table. If there was a way to prove that you are nothing more than a fraud and make fraudulent statements on a regular basis, and there was a way to put you and myself in a box that if we lied, we would have to pay the ultimate price. You would disappear into the ether, like that Star Trek movie, where instead of having physical nuclear war or physical battles, they just put them in a disintegrator. So if Big Kevin was to bet all, he would lose, because I've never bought a subscriber, ever, not on either channel. I earned those subscribers with real content, which is completely different than what Big Kevin has done. He has no content. His entire subscriber base is based on drama. And that's part of YouTube, drama. So I'm going to go through the 11 questions. I did a questionnaire asking Big Kevin what he's going to do when he comes back from the Philippines. And I see a lot of people coming on the stream and then going away from the stream. People like Go-Go Bobo's sister, who's got something very long and fat in his throat, from a guy who said he wants to make love to Go-Go Bobo's sister, and Go-Go Bobo's sister did not disown him as a friend. I have to tell you, Go-Go, you're still going to get your shirts. There's no doubt about that. I'm still going to send you the shirts that you donated money for. This has nothing to do with it. But if a man that I knew in life even joked around that he wanted to make love to me, I would disown him in a heartbeat. And I've done that. I did that to a friend of mine that I was friends since 7 years old. Not because he was gay. Nope, that's not the reason I disowned him. I disowned him because he hid the fact from me until the age of 33. And when I did discover that he was gay, I said, look, I won't talk about you, but because you embarrassed me by not telling me at least the truth. We were friends for 26 years, and you couldn't tell me the truth about your sexual preferences. I just disowned him. I never spoke with him again. This is a man that I grew up with since the age of 7. At the age of 12, we went into the same high school. Most of our classes were in similar shops, and some of our classes were the same. But for 4 years, we rode a bus into the city for an hour and 15 minutes. For all of our high school years, we were best friends. There was 4 of us. They called us the Wrecking Crew, actually. That was the name of the group of the people that I stayed with, because we were a little reckless. So I did not disown him because he was gay. In fact, two of the wrecking crew turned out to be gay. I disowned him, both of them, because they hid the fact and embarrassed me in front of my neighbors, actually. So, but when Gogo Bobo's sister found out that someone wanted to make love to him, and the guy said it in a public venue, come on. How could you let that go, Gogo? You're still going to get your shirts. But how could you let something like that go? I could let it go because I would, I have, like water off a duck's back. But you, and now when I say hello to you, Gogo Bobo sister, on 3 times, 3 strikes, you're out, buddy. You're still going to get your shirts. 3 times I've said hello to you on live streams and chats. 3 times you have ignored my salutations. So, and all because a man, so-called man, and we're going to use that term, so-called man, said that you were so handsome, he wanted to make love to you, and I made fun of that. Not the fact that he wanted to make love to you, the fact that you ignored it, Gogo Bobo sister. So that's what a lot of you people are doing. You're ignoring the truth. And the truth is that the big Kevin also ignored it. He takes it as some sort of joke. Me personally, I have no friends that have ever said that to me. The fella that I disowned in when we were 33 years old in 1988, he didn't say anything to me. I found out from my neighbor. But none of my friends ever said they wanted to make love to me. None, ever. And if they did, I can't remember it. Maybe they were drunk, or maybe I was drunk at the time, but you allowed that to take place, Gogo Bobo sister. So I have to wonder about your manhood, because I don't know any real men that would allow people to say that. So moving on, I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to ask Big Kevin 11 legitimate questions, what he's going to do when he gets back to the Philippines, what he has done in the Philippines, what his potential to do in the Philippines is, and why he's coming back to the Philippines. So let's turn this around. This is my my community post. Nothing derogatory, nothing negative. These are simple. It's a simple query or questionnaire as to what Kevin's goals are when he gets back to the Philippines. So even though Big Kevin says he does not flag videos, he has flagged videos. Even though he says he never rats anybody out, he has done that. Not that I've ever had a video taken down by him, but I have had a warning. After I made a show about the Big Kevin, about a month or so ago, I got a warning that they took the monetization off the show because of what they called hate speech. So who could it have been done by? The only person that can make a complaint, a legitimate complaint, is the owner or the person spoken about in the channel. So even though Big Kevin says, I never, ever make a complaint against anybody, that's a lie. So you have to be the owner of the channel. So he lies about a lot of things, in my opinion. And let's go to this, let's go to the videotape. Let's go over here. Now this is, oh, and of course, let me make a disclaimer. This is all YouTube entertainment. Thank you for reminding me. This is just entertainment, right, Kevin? It's just entertainment. True entertainment on YouTube. Even though I've caught you in some of the most vicious, fraudulent statements, in my opinion, this is just entertainment. And we're going to go through those vicious, fraudulent statements, including that FAZIO has bought his subscribers, that FAZIO never owned a barge, that FAZIO's father owned a barge. Ah, you're a female also. Ah, I didn't know that. We have to retract all the Gogo Bobo stuff. So wait a second, Gogo Bobo system. I believe you, of course. But there was a place, good morning, Mike Dowdy. There was a place in the video chat that Gogo Bobo's sister said that you were 6'3". I remember reading that last week. So Gogo Bobo's sister is an actual woman, which means we have to retract the Big Cheese saying he wanted to make love to Gogo Bobo's sister, and anything I ever said about that, I'm retracting it. Sorry, Gogo. But I did see last week that you were 6'3". So I don't. It's entertainment. Okay. Well, let's get on with the show. And as soon as you have somebody in the Philippines I can give those shirts to, I'll be more than happy. I got them right behind me with your name on the bag. So nothing is going to change between you and I, because this is just YouTube entertainment, right? So let's get on with the show. Hey, thanks for clearing that up. The fact that you're a 6'3" woman, that I would have never guessed. But I saw it on the chat. So it's either true or it's entertainment. But let's get on with this. Let's turn this around. Let's get my my logo there. Okay, good. Hey, that's great. You know, okay, and in fact, you know what I'm going to do, Gogo Bobo sister? I'm going to throw in, I have 100+ assorted On-Time Backhoe shirts, Zola craft shirts, and I have I bought a total of 63 Mushroom Man shirts, a total. And I've worn about 6 of them for work and construction where they're just used. I gave one to Scott. I gave one to Dennis Adam. I sent a few others out. I think I sent one to Canoy. I'm not sure. But you're going to get as a bonus, you're going to get a Mushroom Man song shirt. And I have them in all sizes. And those shirts, I paid $26 per shirt because they are something called print on demand. They're not like a stamp. It's actually a print into the fabric. It's a high quality shirt. Those are real. So you're going to get a handsome reward bonus as for at least. You have always been my friend, and you always will be my friend. But now that you've cleared that up, now I know why the cheese wants to make love to you. What I don't understand are other things, and we're going to talk about those things now with the big Kevin. Okay, well, I will be factual. I will make sure that you're going to get those shirts one way or another. I promise. That's, like I said, to send them to America, I sent 3 shirts to Scott last year. It was $80. $80. Yes. Wes lives right around the corner from you. And I haven't spoken with Wes, but he lives really close to you. You can probably, if you want his address, or I'll send Wes a query that you'd like to meet him. And I'm sure he'll do that because he doesn't live far from you. You, Dennis, and Wes live in close proximity. So if you say yes, I'll send Wes. Okay, I'll send Wes a request that you'd like to meet him because he's a really cool dude. Let me tell you, Gogo Bobo, instead of him going to your house, wherever you live, I don't care. I never asked Wes where you live. Instead of you Wes going to your house, Gogo Bobo, here's the truth. What you want to do, is go to Wes's farm. And you want to see his antique Model A cars. You want to see his antique tractor equipment. I mean, because you live in that area and where there is antique tractors. Okay, I'll send Wes out a query on that, right? I'll do that. I opened up my mail, and when I'm done with this show, I'll remember because my mail is open. Well, what you want to do is you want to see Wes's operation. If you want to see, well, you know about farms because you grew up there. You want to see equipment, one piece, the entire barns, huge barns, 125 feet deep and 150 feet across, full of equipment. You couldn't even ride a motorcycle through his barns with his equipment. And he's got like the Model A, he's got the seats, the seat kit ready to put into the Model A. He's got the springs for and the seat, what they call the rumble seat in the back. He's got that in the back of the car. He's got a farm of antiques that you will like, and that's where you want to go meet him. And he knows who you are. He'd be more than happy to meet you. Believe me, Wes is nothing but hospitable, very hospitable. I spent 2 days with him. Yup. Well, I grew up on a farm as well. I grew up in New York, but my uncle had a farm in Oswego County. It was an actual stagecoach hotel where the stagecoach pulled into the upper ramp, and there was like 12 rooms and in the hotel. And when I was maybe 12 or 11, one of my uncles bought that farm, and we lived in those rooms. And the rooms, this is going back to 1967, but in the farm, when he bought it, was all the equipment, the loom, LOOM, to make fabric, the water pumps in the kitchen, the bridles, and the whatever gear, they call it rigging for the horses. Then there was a big barn. The whole barn was full of saddles and rigging and bits and stuff like that. So in the summer, from the time we got out of school to the time we went back to school, I'd go up there 2 or 3 weekends a year to chop wood for the hunters. I would chop wood all summer. And then in return for chopping wood, my uncle would give us a brick of 22s and rifles, and we would go shoot frogs. And that would be what we would do all day after we were done chopping. Because the frogs, he built a pond on his lake. There's a lake on the property. He dammed off a 3-sided valley, and then he filled it with fish. And the frogs would eat the fish, so he'd say, "Go get the frogs." And you'd have me, Joe DeVito, Joey Sanfilippo, Donnie DeVito, my brother. We'd be sitting on the side of the dock of the lake. And the fish would come up and eat the frogs. That was funny. So, yeah, that's something you want to do. So, thank you for the comments. I'm going to open up my comments now because there's a lot of comments I'm missing. Let me get over to here. Let's go here. Live streams. I haven't seen even just the comments that on my showing up on my. Okay, let's go Boba. To me, it's entertainment. And just let you know, Mr. Fazio, oh yes, I saw the clone Gogo Bobo. You have 943 subscribers. I know who you are. And a female. Okay, I saw your comment on Popeye's show. I saw that show about 20 minutes ago, just before I started this stream. The real Gogo Bobo, okay, he has 944. My mistake, Mike Dowdy. Okay, so Gogo Bobo sister, I'll give you if you're only going to be here for 2 days, I'll give you the best boat tour that you can get. Harness. Mick Fisher. Whoa, we got to get a pot. Oh, Mick Fisher's in the house. Mick Fisher. Bang a pot. We like Mick Fisher a lot. Yeah, baby. Mick Fisher. A man's man in the Philippines. Baby. Mick Fisher. So only a few. The proud. The Marines get a ding, ding, ding. For Mick Fisher, he's in the house, Mick Fisher. He'll put you in your place. He'll do it in your face. Thank you for stopping by, Mick Fisher. So Mick Fisher says, let's get down now. Rigging is called harness for the working horses. Okay, thank you, Mick Fisher. So, I only know very little about farming. I thought, like a bit, my mistake. I would have thought maybe the rigging is the part that goes from the chariot or the stagecoach to the horses. That would probably be rigging. But you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's okay. So let me, I don't know anything about, I had a horse, but it was just a horse. A 17-hand police academy trained horse named Buckaroo Banzai in 1970. I had that horse when I lived in California. It was my friend's horse, but I rode it, of course. And we could ride back then in Southern California. There's a place called Vista. Vista is right from the ranch that I lived on, the J&A Ranch, a Jade Ranch. From that ranch, you could see the Carlsbad racetrack. From there, you could hear the motorcycles and see the racetrack, but we also got to go up and do the track in a Jeep, and I used to go there with a horse once in a while, and actually went up the side of the mountain with both a horse and a Jeep. A Jeep's the Cherokee, and there was no reason why it didn't flip over, except that Tom used to like to do that, and he took me for that ride up the side of the mountain, the side of where the Carlsbad racetrack. There's the racetrack, and then up the mountain is very, very steep. And this is going back into 1970. I was 15. Tom was 16. He had his driver's license. It was a lot more scary in the Jeep than the horse, but either one will get you, will end your live stream, that's for sure, your live stream. Okay, Mick Fisher. A bit goes in the mouth and is part of the bridle, right? The bridle would be from one side to the other, and the bit is the metal piece that goes behind the teeth. Okay, now I got it. Thank you, Mick Fisher. So we're gonna thank you very much, because like I said, if I don't know something, I'm happy to be reminded or learn. So we're gonna go right now. We're gonna go to the Big Kevin, and we're gonna ask Big Kevin 11 legitimate questions, and this is posted in my current post, and you'll know that post when you see Rabbi Drew Barker, the Beard of Wisdom. So we have not facetious, not disrespectful questions at all. What we have is legitimate questions for Big Kevin. So the first question is, it's a statement. The first statement is, hey, Big Kevin, I have several questions, serious questions for you. That's a query, I think. So the first number one is, my best guess is that you have collected $18,000 US dollars from your sponsor alone, which includes, and his sponsor is none other than of course, the big cheese. So here, I broke it down for you, what I believe the sponsor has given him, not out of jealousy, but just to show you how much money the great big Kevin has collected and has basically done, in my opinion, nothing that we can see that benefits his return to the Philippines. There are statements saying that some of that money went to the children, and of course that's probably true. But of the $18,000 that I believe the big cheese has given him, what percentage of that money has been used for anything other than what I call toys in your room? And they basically are worthless because, like for instance, one of Big Kevin's newest toys is a camera that follows you around the room. Now you can buy one of those. I'll show you how worthless that is. I have one. And let's say camera, cam that follows. It's worth about $119. Camera that follows your face. Oh, they were $119. Now look at how cheap they are now. Oh God, I paid $109 for a camera that followed my face from around my desk. Look what they sell them for, $60, $80 now. Okay, so with automatic face tracking has gone down to $80. So they're down $40 since I bought one in 2010. I think I bought it. Maybe a little earlier than that. So he bought a camera. So it's really that part of his donations is basically for what reason? So it focuses in on your face. You spend your money so foolishly, in my opinion, Big Kevin. So let's go here. In addition to the $18,000 from the big cheese, I estimate $5,000 to $8,000 from your hateful diatribes. You earned it via hate. And especially from that man who sends you $50 in almost every show, who I think's name is John. He doesn't work, if I remember correctly, and he gets his money from rental property that his parents handed him down in, maybe they passed away, I'm not sure, but he didn't earn that property. He was given that property, and the rent pays all his bills, which is great, which I think is great. But so you got a guy who never earned what he has in life, who sends you $50 every time you go on. So that's another $5,000 to $8,000. So altogether, so far, we're up to 18, and let's round it out to $24,000 in the last 5 years. Big Kevin, what have you done with that money? You've not gone on vacation. You've not gone to a county fair, or you don't own a well, forget about motorcycle. You don't own a car. You don't drive. You don't own a boat. You don't even own a rowboat for your lake, that beautiful lake behind your house. What have you done with that money? You keep buying green screens and worthless toys. In my opinion, they're worthless. They're not going to serve any purpose for your long-term goals of moving back to the Philippines. In fact, that money should have been put in a bank account. You spend minimum on your toys, put it in the bank, send it to your children who are not in the Philippines, and we'll get to that in a moment, and then you have something, a nest egg, but you don't even have a nest egg. So somebody total has given you $24,000 in the last 5 years, my best guess, and you didn't have enough money to balance your credit card about 8 months ago. You overdrew on your credit card, and you had to call up your sponsor, who's been giving you $200 a month, from what I understand, for years, to bank money into your credit card account so you would not go be drawing a penalty fee every month. So $24,000, and you haven't saved a dime of that money. And that's based on the fact that 8 months ago you overdrew on your credit card and couldn't pay the penalty fees. So you have a green screen, you have a camera that follows your face, you have a horse on a stick, you have a couple of other little toys, you have 2 or 3 different computers, but you have nothing. You've saved nothing. Your inability to save money for something useful is basically non-existent. So how did we break down the money that your sponsor has given you? Well, I remember your sponsor saying, the Big Cheese, he was giving you $200 a month about 5 years ago. He's also giving Chi $200 a month to stay off of YouTube. I remember that. And that's why you called me a rat last week, because I mentioned these facts. But he said it, and then he went on a tirade for 3 hours about me. But you believe that's okay, that he can go on a 3-hour tirade about me? All lies, by the way, because when I post the mail that he sent me, and when I post the mail that I returned to him at 1:19 in the afternoon, the day we were supposed to meet, that night he said FAZIO canceled me at the last minute. In the meantime, he had 6.5 hours to get over himself. But that will be a story for another day. Anybody that doesn't believe that I have that video 6.5 hours before our meetup, throw $100 in Super Chat on the board, and I'll post that email right now. And Kevin, you have said many times that I'm a liar. Well, why don't you back it up? Why don't you be the one to send $100? And I'll put it on the board, because I have it. But that's really part of another show. So let's just go over that $18,000 that just one person, your sponsor, has given you. $200 a month for 5 years, that's $12,000, your sponsor. $5,000 or $6,000 from your sponsor for arrears in immigration, from your sponsor again. Let me go check the Super Chat. Oh, and you say that I'm an e-beggar. You call me an e-beggar? You have some nerve calling me an e-beggar. You have some nerve, Big Kevin. You are the one that has copied everybody else's methodology of asking for subscribers and Super Chat. You call me an e-beggar, Big Kevin? That's too funny. Because you're the one that keeps saying it's time for you guys to fess up. It's time for you guys to make your mark. You tried to embarrass the person that you call Jerry, and a not such a nice name, and my Philippines and beyond. You tried to embarrass him to give you money, because he hasn't given you any money. What have you given to anybody else, Big Kevin? Oh, the $2 that you sent Bama? That's been your total donations on live streams as far back as I can remember. You've never given anybody any money. So you gave $2 to Bama, but you want Jerry to give you $10 so that he can keep his wrench, which sounds to me like extortion. So you have given no one any money ever in the history of your life, but you want Jerry to give you $10 so he can keep his wrench. That, Big Kevin, in my opinion, is e-begging. So you got $5,000 or $6,000 from your sponsor for your immigration arrears. That's the right word. You were in arrears for 10 years, probably $10,000, and your sponsor's lawyer worked it down to somewhere between $5,000 and $6,000, if my memory serves me correctly. So who is really zooming who here? You've gotten $24,000 from just one person, and you gave Barry $2. You're the e-beggar, in my opinion, Big Kevin. Now, let's go to the next one. You've also collected $7,000 for your never-ending worthless toys. Unlike people who buy things like Philippines and Beyond, he invests his money into scuba gear. From what I understand, he also bought a new car recently. So he has spent his hard-earned money wisely. I myself have a drone. I don't have a motorcycle. I don't want a car or a motorcycle. I'm afraid of driving motorcycles, especially here in the Philippines. A car costs too much money to maintain, but at least I do have some toys, none of which you're aware of other than the drone. But that will change soon. But moving past that, you, Big Kevin, you have nothing of any value. My drone, for instance, is worth more than all of Big Kevin's toys combined. Put all those toys in that one room, your aunt's house room. Put them all on one table. The drone dwarfs the expenditure of all your toys with just one item. And I have no doubt in my mind, all of your toys don't amount to just $2,000 or $3,000. Don't count the computer, because everybody needs a computer. All your other toys, the horse, the $80 camera, a couple of noise makers that you have, all your toys don't amount to $1,000 or $1,500. So you say FAZIO's broke, and yet your toys don't amount to anything more than a Honda 125 motorcycle, cash money, by the way, that I could buy with on my credit card, but I don't want one. Now, in theory, you own nothing that would be useful in the Philippines. And let's go back to my channel. In theory, you own nothing at all that would be useful in the Philippines. Can you bring your equipment to the Philippines? Do you have a house that is secure to put your toys in? Do you have a place? I mean, do you even have a place to stay? Can you go back to your once existing family? We don't know. You've never said where you're going. So why are you going back to the Philippines, which is today's topic? Why, and what are you going to do when you get back here? So in addition, all of your toys don't amount to a hill of beans compared to a Honda motorcycle. So the question is, what are you going to do when you get here? What is it? You claim you're going back to see your kids, LOL, but they live in Australia. So that's not true. You've lied about collecting donations to go see your children back in the Philippines as far back as 4 or 5 years ago. You never spent $1 buying tickets to go to the Philippines to see your children because you had $5,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 in arrears with immigration. So you collected thousands and thousands of dollars to go see your kids, but you didn't use the money to go see your kids because in the back of your mind you knew you were an overstayer and you couldn't go to the Philippines until the big cheese decided to give you more sponsorship to the tune of between $5,000 and $7,000 for just one ticket item, just one ticket in your box of e-begging fantasies and fallacies. Just one was $5,000 to $7,000. And if it wasn't, then show us the receipt from immigration, and I will correct it in another video. So moving on, Big Kevin, you have no hobbies. What are you coming back to the Philippines to do? That's the first one. You have no hobbies. You don't swim. You've never swam in the lake, And don't tell me you can't swim in the lake. It's a beautiful, clean lake. There's no boats in the lake. There's no crocodiles or alligators in the lake. You don't even go in the lake. You've never went to the beach. Your two blogs are having food with Pennsylvania Trucker and the fella that owns or used to own a cab stand, Steve Janik, I think his name is. 2 blogs in 7 years. You've made 2 blogs, both of them about eating. Neither one of those did you need to go have a buffet with. You don't go boating. You don't have a boat. You don't even have a rowboat. You don't even have a rowboat that you could get some exercise in. You said you can't walk, but you could row a boat. You don't have one of those either. So what are you going to do when you come back to the Philippines? Now, moving on to the next statement. You do nothing, I can see, as far as activities outside of your very small room other than to make fun of other people. And yet you make fun of my room, who basically is 1,000 times nicer than your room, because I have a view of the ocean. Several hundred people a day walk by my house. I can see people scuba diving. I can go drone videos of the ocean, drone videos of boats, go chit-chat with my landlord, have breakfast with my landlord, have breakfast with the barangay captain, none of whom want to be on YouTube. And then, of course, my neighbors at the Stanley House, who you say, they hate me? Oh, yeah? Haven't you seen the videos where my landlord invites me to all parties, whether they're a fiesta, Christmas, New Year's, birthday, all of the festivities in Bohol I'm invited to. Where do you go, Big Kevin? Who invites you to what, when, where, and why? You have a lot of there's a lot of parallels that you could draw between yourself and who you call the frail man. There's a lot of parallels. One being you stay in a room. Your existence is in a tiny little room, not in your house, not that you pay rent for. All you do is buy food and give them a pittance for the rent, because you couldn't afford the rent in a house like that. We all know that's true. So, and then you have a room in a basement that you do nothing in, and yet you make fun of the person you call the frail man, that he doesn't leave his room. Well, you make fun of a man that doesn't leave his house, which is a very nice house, if you look at it objectively. You make fun of a man who has a very nice house, and you live in a room. So who's more at fault here, Big Kevin? Who is the guy that's jealous of whom? You make fun of me, and yet I live in a beautiful place right next to the ocean. You live in a room and have no hobbies. Moving on to the next statement. So what activities do you partake in when you get here? What activities? Question, that's a question. What are you going to partake in when you get here? It's a legit question, Big Kevin. Please answer the question. Now, this is a statement. You have never once made a video of the Philippines, so you're not a blogger. You're closer to a hater, not so dissimilar than the one you call frail. So, in your words, the one you call frail and yourself, your life is parallel to his. You stay in a room, he stays in a house. You don't do anything as far as hobbies are concerned. He doesn't do much as far as hobbies are concerned, but he does have some blogs. You have no blogs. So he's got you beat on that front for sure. So you call him frail. He lives in a room and doesn't do anything. You do nothing and live in a room and do nothing. At least he goes to the beach once in a while, which is not much, but it's about 1,000 times more than what you do. So number 5, you can't go drinking, as that would cause an imbalance in your already medicated frame of mind, if I'm correct. So I know that you are on medication, or have been, or were on medication. So you're not allowed to drink, and that was your mainstay in the Philippines. So that's out of the question. So your only option, number 6, is to do what? Please tell us. Are you going to continue to be a hater and an e-beggar, as is your nature, based on what you call drama and or hate? What is going to be your forte in the Philippines? What are you going to do? Will your self-righteous sponsor, and I'll repeat that, will your self-righteous sponsor finance your hateful diatribes in the Philippines too? See, that's a question he's never asked you, what you're going to do. He says he has a woman for you. Well, what are the chances of just meeting a woman and that woman being the woman of your dreams? It's possible. So what are you going to do? Meet one woman when you get here? When last year you said that you were going to be a playboy? You, a playboy. Now that's funny. You're going to be a playboy as of a year ago, but now your sponsor wants you to meet a woman, or did want you to meet a woman, I forget. But are you still, is he going to sponsor your hateful diatribes? You got to remember, this sponsor of yours, everything is good to go if it's destroying another person's reputation. But when it comes to him, he's as narcissistic as any other narcissist on YouTube. His one forte, he's like the Henry Kissinger of YouTube. His one forte is that he doesn't get upset and yell and scream, but he does it in insidious ways, like his 3-hour insidious diatribe of how I am a woke person, how I am part of the cancel culture. Well, just wait till we get to review his diatribe. It's not going to be pretty, but it's not going to be today. So he is, in my opinion, and several other people's opinion, your sponsor is one of, if you look up the word narcissist, one of the most hateful narcissistic people in the Philippines, but he does it with a smile on his face. He does it in a political bent or a political fashion where he talks nice, like politicians talk nice while they're jamming it up the old tunnel. Politicians talk like he does. He talks like politicians. He is a bigger narcissist than the person you call frail in oh so many ways. But he has perfected the art of narcissistic and narcissistic supply, where he says, I will rebuttal and I will give the 2 biggest wingnuts on YouTube the answer to their question. So instead of saying he will give the 2 biggest blah, blah, blahs an answer to your question, he does it in a political manner by calling us wingnuts, or you wingnuts, or him wingnuts. He does it, and then by doing so, his narcissistic personality is not so outlandish. He doesn't call you a negative name and add a curse or a rant to it. He calls you a wingnut, but it's the same thing. When he did a 3-hour diatribe against me, none of it's true. None of it. Other than the fact that I canceled the show 6.5 hours before the agreed meeting time. Why? Because I don't want to be in a bar at 8 o'clock at night drinking alcohol. Why? Because I don't drink alcohol. Why? Because he already disavowed a promise that him and I made by being on your live stream, Big Heaven, and spewing some truths that we agreed would never become public. He did that. So if he did that after we made a face-to-face agreement in person, and he went against his agreement, lied and defamed me by doing so, well, then why would I trust him not to do that in a live meeting? So I backed out, and the words in the email where I respectfully decline your invitation. Period. And he went on a 3-hour diatribe because I hurt his little girl man feelings. We'll get to that on another day. It's coming. So he's as narcissistic or more narcissistic as anybody else on YouTube. Plus, there are other things that he does that in regards to people that consider what's moral, what's immoral. In my opinion, he does quite a few immoral things. And that's a topic for another day. So, number 7, Big Kevin. Will your self-righteous sponsor finance your hateful diatribes in the Philippines too? To the tune of $200 a month and any other fees you incur? So is the sponsorship going to continue once you get your Social Security check? That's a question that I beg to ask, and I think is reasonable. Now I need to see if there's any more comments, because I need to see if there's any more. Okay, I don't see any more comments, which is okay. It's okay for me. Okay, so it's okay. No comments. That's great. I like that. Now, as he does, will your self-righteous sponsor finance your hateful diatribes in the Philippines too, to the tune of $200 a month and any other fees you might incur? As he does perhaps Barry and Chi? That's a question, because I don't know that he's given Barry money. I only heard that. I don't know that he's still giving Chi money, although I know he told me a long time ago he was giving Chi money. So am I a rat for saying the truth? Or does his 3-hour diatribe against me cancel out me being a rat, because he tried to destroy my good reputation of my namesake? He does that in such a way, and he even threatened in his diatribe, if you say one word about this live stream, I'll reveal your secrets. So he threatened to reveal my secrets, which were at the time I had a hernia and my testicles were swollen almost the size of softballs, and he was going to tell that to everybody on YouTube. So he threatened to expose the truths that were between him and I, but he doesn't want me to expose the truths that he told me about Chi and you. So, what's fair is fair. And I believe it's fair to expose what he said to me. Could I prove it? It might be in an email. It certainly isn't an email what time I canceled the live stream. So if that's a lie, and he spent 3 hours perpetrating a lie to make you not believe anything I say. 3 hours? 3 hours? 3 hours to perpetrate a lie against me, to destroy my reputation, so that you wouldn't believe what I'm saying right now? That is diplomacy from a psychopathic, narcissistic personality. That diplomacy that he used, that FAZIO canceled me at the last minute, and because FAZIO was part of the woke culture, because FAZIO was part of the cancel culture. None of that is true. By definition, zero of that is true. But he had to get what they call ahead of the game to knock me down so no one would believe me what I'm about to do to him in the near future. Are you going to be a male escort, Big Kevin, when you lose another 100 pounds, like you said a long time ago? Big Kevin, are you going to be another male escort? Are you going to hire women to hold in each elbow, hold your side, hold you up? Are you going to hire women to make you look like the Casanova of the Philippines? I don't think that's your personality type, to be honest with you. So, but that's what you said. I'm going to be a male escort. You were kidding around, of course. But what is it that you are going to do when you lose 100 pounds? That's the real question. So what are your plans, number 9, when you and if you return? And then with a side question, will your hateful content be your niche in life as it seems to be now? Or Will you buy a boat and take people on rides? A drone and drone your area? A bike and ride a bicycle to stay in shape? A tricycle and go around and make videos? Travel and do uploads like myself, who you say. The Big Kevin says FAZIO has no content. FAZIO has no content. There's 11,000 videos on 2 different channels, and I have 4 channels. There's 11,000 video uploads. 4,000 of them are private. So there's 7,000 public videos, Big Kevin. Is that a person that has no content, or is a person like yourself with 2 videos of 2 buffets with 2 different people? That is not content. You made 2 videos of a buffet, and that's your total content. I'll do a show and please do a show and tell us your plans. Thanks, Big Kevin. Okay, let's go over here. Scott Del Fuego, my friend. Michael FAZIO was like a hitman. He doesn't bother you if you leave him alone. But if you get his attention, be ready for the smoke. No, I'm not like that at all, Scott. I have just had it with people like Big Kevin and the Big Cheese, who can't prove a single word of what either one of them have ever said about me. Big Kevin said I have no content. Big Kevin said I have no women. What? Because I don't post videos of me with a woman, I have no women? No, it's the easiest thing in the world to do here. But because I don't post videos of myself with a woman, I have no women. You know that to be a fact. What about, and what you just recently, about 3 months ago, said that Daisy May will never talk to FAZIO. She hates FAZIO. And you let people run all that information on your channel. And the whole while, for months in advance, Daisy and I knew she was coming to assist me with my operation. In fact, I spoke with Daisy for well over an hour last night about various things. Okay, and I speak with Daisy all the time. I have never not spoken to Daisy, ever. Ever since she left, ever since she was getting married, ever since she was engaged, ever since she made it public, I have always remained Daisy May's friend. But you say, oh, FAZIO, Daisy doesn't talk to Daisy May. Well, how do you know what I do? Kevin, bet all. Bet it all. Bet it all. Bet me a large sum of money. Bet it. I'll show it to you. Put Kevin, Big Kevin, right now. Put $100 in Super Chat on the board, and I will show you the chat between Daisy and I over just the last week. Okay? But it's got to come from Big Kevin. Or the Cheese. The Cheese can send me $100 too. The Big Cheese. Being that you got such a big mouth, being that you're so sure that you want to support people like Barry and people like Chi and people like Kevin who do nothing but hate, I think it would be reasonable. Put $100 on the board right now, Big Cheese. Big Kevin, one of you two, put it on the board. Nobody else. I don't want money from anybody else. I want one of them two to put it on the board right now. And I'll show you our chat over the last few weeks, whatever it is. Okay? So you keep running your mouth, Big Kevin. The Big Cheese keeps being his, in my opinion, psychopathic, narcissistic personality disorder. Keep running your major psychopathic, narcissistic personality disorders against people like myself, who you can't prove a word of it. And you could prove that I didn't talk to Daisy. Throw $100 on the board, and I'll show you the chat between Daisy and I. Right now, I'll just put it right on the board. Right this minute. Put it on the board. Big Cheese, Big Kevin only. $100 on the board, and here we go. Daisy May's chat on the board, just to prove you wrong. Not for anything else, just to prove you wrong. And she doesn't care because she's my friend, okay? So don't come on here and pretend that I have no friends, Big Kevin, because the Filipinos that I hang out with, they don't want to be on YouTube. The people, when I go to a party, I'm allowed to take video of the people at the party, two of which are police officers. One is the barangay captain. Another is the barangay second in command. They don't really want their picture in videos. At parties, yes, it's okay because they're not in uniform. But when we're just hanging out at the house and they stop by to have lunch, they don't want to be on YouTube. So if you guys want to see whether or not Daisy and I have been friends for a long time, ever, going back years, put $100 on the board, Big Kevin. Let's see if your mouth can back up what your videos state, because I'll be happy to put it on the board. I could read it to you. But I want to see $100 from the Big Cheese or Big Kevin. Is it a ploy to get $100? Big Kevin bangs a pot. He bangs a cup. He uses everybody else's method to get Super Chat. He uses everybody else's. He's like a weasel. He finds a niche that somebody else used to get Super Chat. Jerry from Philippines and beyond. You call him Jerry the Fairy, but would you call it to him to his face? You use his name and tell him he has to give you $10 to get a wrench or maintain his wrench. That's extortion. You call me a fraud and you can't prove a word of it. What, honey? Hey, Hill, is Jerry out there? Is Jerry out there? No. Okay, Salamat. So you call everybody names, but you have nothing. Big Kevin, you have nothing to back up anything that you say, ever. Nothing can you back up. You can't back up that I bought subscribers. Going back to the subscriber thing, Big Kevin, I have always said this, and actually, I wanted the United States government to build a box that could read your mind, like a lie detector, except that they ask you a question. You're inside the box. They put the electronic stuff on your fingers, your chest, whatever, just like a lie detector. I wanted the government to build a box going back 40 years. And then when someone lied, it disintegrated them. I want to put you in that box and ask you to prove anything that you've ever said about me as far as I have no subs. You said it, you'll have to admit it, or you'll disintegrate. And I will get in the box and tell you that I've never bought a subscriber, ever, not even one. And I will not be disintegrated. You will have to go in the box and people will ask you questions. Did you collect that money to come back to the Philippines for airline tickets? What did you do with that money? And you have to tell the truth. Otherwise you get disintegrated. And when people say to me, we gave you $1,300 to buy a drone. Hey, I bought the drone. They see it. It's there. We want to get into the box. I want you to get into the box. We should have two boxes, one for you and one for me. And we'll ask those questions. And the first time you lie, you turn into dust. And the same goes for me. Did I take any money from anybody and not use it for its intended purpose? No, I have never done that. Ever. Under any conditions. Did I ever take money that was not used for its intended purpose? No, I have never done that. But you have. In my opinion, you're a complete fraud. So you go in the box, I go in the box, you're not coming out of the box. because 5 or 6 questions down the line, even if it's only a small lie, you fry. That's what I want to do with you, Big Kevin. I want to put you in the anti-lying box. I got to go back to the comments. So if I see $100 in Super Chat, I'm going to be posting Daisy's stuff right now. And that was part of it. Let me go back over here. Okay, that was part of it. I know that the person you call frail will stop that video at that point, blow that stuff up, and use it. But there's nothing there to use. It's just our chat, stupid chat between two friends. That's not even, the Scott Del Fuego says, that's not even debatable. Fazio puts them in the corner whenever he wants. Yeah, but I don't post that kind of stuff on YouTube. I don't post conquests on YouTube. And there's a reason I don't do that. I am best friends with Daisy May. I will never allow you worthless blogger, who you allow people to talk about Daisy May on your channel, you, for that alone, I should put you in the box and ask you 5 questions that you have to answer truthfully. And then the people will know the truth about you, or you shall be disintegrated for talking bad about Daisy May. Why you do that? Simple jealousy, ignorance, I don't know. But you are a vengeful, evil, sadistic, maniacal, evil, big, sloth-like man, in my opinion. That's all you will ever be. Hold on a minute. All right, Scott Del Fuego. Now I got to go back over here because I got things going on. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Do it. I'm... Okay, hold on. Okay, I can't talk now. Okay. Do it. Just do it. Don't hesitate. So you, Big Kevin, in reality, you're an evil man for talking bad. First of all, you want to talk bad about what you call Yuma on YouTube. You want to talk bad about me. You want to talk bad about who you call the frail man. Look, I don't know this fella, Philippines and beyond, other than the fact that he's a diver. I have no knowledge of him. I've heard stories about him, but I did not partake in his videos years ago. But I don't talk bad about him because I don't care about Jerry. He's never said a bad word about me that I know of. But I'm not going to call him the names you call him. Because I think that's pretty, and you talk about his wife, so how does that make you any different than the frail man? You talk about Jerry's wife all the time. You allow people call her the laundry lady or the washwoman. That's pretty sad, because you, Big Kevin, have amounted to nothing in my eyes. And you allow people to talk about somebody named Jerry from Philippines and beyond who owns a car. He's got to own $1,500 to $2,000 worth of scuba gear. He has a hobby. We talk about cameras and gear and dives and things like that between us in private chats. And you allow people to talk about him. But what have you done, Big Kevin? Nothing. Nothing is the answer. You are a complete zero when it comes to hobbies or doing stuff. You've never done anything. And yet you allow people to talk about people that are more accomplished than you out of jealousy, hate, or spite. No different than the person you call the frail man. No different at all. You call him the frail man and say he's full of hate, and you do the same thing. You two are the same. Identical. I have to go back and check my... Okay. You do nothing different. Nothing different than the frail man, the person you call the frail man. Nothing. Nothing at all. You are the same personality as the person you call the frail man. Neither one of you has any real hobbies. That's true. Neither one of you uses the beautiful oceans and beaches to their fullest extent that were in the Philippines when you were here, or your lake, or the ocean. One vlog on a bunker boat, smiling, does not a vlog make. Does not make you a blogger. And people say, John Blaze said that's your best video because you didn't talk. We're talking about the man that Kevin calls the frail one. So you have no videos on any body of water, and he has one video on a body of water that he doesn't talk. You have no videos of you swimming in a beautiful lake behind your house. He has no videos of him swimming in the ocean. And you put him down for not having any hobbies, not doing anything. You're the one, you two guys, you could hold a mirror up to each other and go back and forth all day long with the hate and the diatribes between the two of you. Neither one of you have blogs. You spend 2 hours, 3 hours a week allowing people to say hateful stuff about every person, including Daisy May. Why Daisy May? For what reason? Because you know it bothers me? You know it bothers me. I'll tell you, it does bother me. And when the time comes, you might find out just how much it bothers me. Because I don't see your buddy, the Big Cheese, throwing $100 on the screen to show or to deny that I'm friends with Daisy May and have been for years. I don't see you putting it up there either, Big Kevin. Why? You've said it 100 times. He doesn't talk to Daisy May. He uses Daisy May. He pays Daisy May to be his friend. I could show you video after video, super chat after chat about money that I wanted to send Daisy May, and she refuses. Put $100 on the screen, and I will show it to you, Big Kevin, just to prove that you're a moron liar. That's what I would prove, that you lie because of your ignorance, that you're a liar. I will show you chat in our messenger, where I'm going to send her money. She says, no, I don't want your money. Don't send me money. Michael, please don't send me money. Michael, no, I don't want your money. Put $100 on the screen, Big Kevin. Put $100 on the screen, Big Cheese. You are two of the lowest forms of bloggers that I've ever incurred on YouTube. And you call the frail man negative. You two guys and the person you call the frail man, you guys are on the same level. None of you have any videos that are worth their salt. Okay, all right, I gotta retract that a little bit. The Big Cheese. Kevin made a statement many times. FAZIO has 4,600 subscribers, so you pay attention to that. And he only gets 100 views on his videos. I've explained it many times. I'll explain it again because you're too stupid to understand it the first 50 times. Everybody in the Philippine genre. This counts for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. You're in the Philippine genre, Big Kevin, the person Big Kevin calls the frail man, the Big Cheese, Roberto, Aloe, Dave, Popeye, everybody in the Philippine genre. Nobody is ever going to get more than 300 views. We are all in an algorithm that YouTube has coerced around us like a bubble everybody that blogs in the Philippine genre and has the circle of who they watch. You don't even have to say anything. Whoever you are watching, you have been, through artificial intelligence, grouped into a grouping. That's the word. And artificial intelligence does not allow our videos to go any further than the immediate Philippines genre. That's true. I have some of the best content in the Philippines. Drone videos of Alona Beach should get 10,000 views, 100 views, 150 views. Drone videos of Dragon Head should have had 1,000 views in the last few days. 34 views, 50 views. Maybe by the end of the week, 100 views. But you get 300 views. So you get 60 people to come to your channel. 60 haters you get. But moving to the algorithm, back to the algorithm, that's why we don't get views. We're in a niche in a YouTube algorithm. That's true. It's been like that for years. I've explained it 100 times. But Big Kevin, you're too stupid to understand that. But I'll prove it to you right now. You say FAZIO doesn't get only 150 or 100 views. You say no one shows up for FAZIO's live streams. No one gets a notice. My 4,600 subscribers, the notice, the bell has been taken off. No one gets a notice for my videos. If I sent out a notice, I would get 100 people, maybe 150 people, because I don't put out the kind of content that YouTube wants to be published. But you get 60 people that are haters that want to come and see you abuse other people. And whenever I do a video about negativity and bloggers, I get a few more subscribers, but I'm never going to get 100. And I don't care about that. But let me prove to you now, you ignorant person. Big Kevin, you have an IQ at this point after your accident. I would say if you had to take an IQ test, your IQ is not quite 60. I don't know what 60 is. I know that 84, 80 is considered the short bus. You're less than the short bus, in my opinion. But that's because of your accident. Before your accident, probably not much more. But moving past that, you say FAZIO doesn't get any views on his videos, and he has 4,500 subscribers. Well, some of my videos get 150 views. But your buddy, your sponsor, the Big Cheese, he's got 9,500 subscribers. And his videos get 20, 15, 18, 30 views. And the ones that get more, I would have to doubt the authenticity of the view count. You might see one of his videos of a water park. First of all, he gets low view counts for two reasons. One, he probably notifies YouTube that these are children-friendly videos, so they don't go anywhere. Children-friendly videos, another social construct that YouTube puts you in an algorithmic box. So that's one reason why he doesn't get views, and the second reason is he's in this genre. He communicates with just people that are in the genre. It doesn't even matter if you leave comments in the live streams. It's the algorithm sees that the Big Cheese talks to the Big Kevin. Big Kevin talks to the Go-Go Bobo sister. The Go-Go Bobo sister leaves comments on what you call the Frail Man's channel. The Frail Man talks to some guy named Sexpat Hunter. Sexpat Hunter leaves comments with Don C. Don C is the biggest troll in the community. It's a small group of people, 100 people or less. And that 100 people is where our videos go, or not. In my case, because of my political bent, Vatican videos, the Jewish politicians, the state of Israel, They put me in that box back in 2012. I went from getting 14,000 views an hour on one of my videos. 14 on the very first video I ever published. 14,000 views an hour. 1.2 million views every month. When my channel got taken down, that same video doesn't have 3,000 videos on it in 11 years. It doesn't have 3,000 views. It used to get 14,000 views an hour. Same video, never changed the tags, because at the time I had a file with all my videos and the tags I used in the videos. I used to keep track of that stuff. Same video. Went from 14,000 views an hour, 1.2 million views a month. When they put me in that algorithmic box, which they've had since 1995, by the way, Yahoo developed it. My maximum view on that video is like 3 views a month from 14,000 views an hour. An hour. Not a day, not a week, or not a month. An hour. So they have algorithms. You people argued the point whether or not they had algorithms with me for years, until Elon Musk came out and told you that algorithms were real. None of you believed it. Another fallacy that you've lied. FAZIO doesn't know what an algorithm is. I've known what it is since 1995. You people have no understanding of the way algorithms work. Maybe now a little bit, but you can't do certain things on YouTube without getting punished. You can't talk. Look what they did to people that talked about the vaccines. Just mention masks and say that you believe that masks don't work. Just say it. In a video 2 years ago, strike. The artificial intelligence picks that up. Just mention what kind of heavy metal may or may not be in a particular shot in the arm. Just mention it. Strike. Doctors of heads of hospitals stating that no one under the average age of someone dying from the Coke virus, whatever that virus was. The average person is 72 years old. Strike. Loses their job at the hospital, loses their tenure at the hospital, and they only say it. The algorithm picks it up. It goes to arbitration on a higher up level, and they lose their job that they worked 30 or 40 years to become the head of a hospital. They lose their job. Hundreds of doctors. That's an algorithm. That's artificial intelligence. So you morons out there think, oh, FAZIO doesn't get any views. I don't get any views because of what I put out on YouTube. That's true. But it's not because of my content. My content dwarfs anybody else in our genre. Who puts out better content? Philippines and Beyond puts out some good diving content, but that's his limitation. The Hillbilly, he puts out some nice farm videos, and he gets a few views because he stays out of our genre. Big Kevin, worthless. Just hates and diatribes, just a few views. 300 views, 400 views. That's not a lot of views. That's a lot of views to somebody with a tiny little brain like yours, or an IQ that's been destroyed for medical reasons. You don't think the chemicals that you've ingested over the last 10 years have destroyed your cognitive ability? Your cognitive ability is like, from what it was when you were 30 years old to now, maybe it's 20%. You, for all intent and purposes, could drive the short bus and nothing more. Let's go back over here. Okay, so we have, let's go back and read the comments. Scott Del Fuego. Let's go back over here. Yeah, Big Kevin, you have nothing to look forward to in the Philippines. It's really amazing how much all the successful and normal people feel the need to accuse that a person that marches to a different drummer is crazy and broke and a loser. So yeah, that's another thing that you people like to say, but it didn't the person who Big Kevin calls the frail one, didn't he say that I would be broke and thrown out of the Philippines? He said that, right? Didn't he say that I would be facing 75 years in jail last year? That was just after he sent somebody to my house, if you recall. And that's a topic for another day. Didn't he say that I would be facing 1 million pesos in fines? Which was also after he sent somebody to my house. And that video where he said, I will pay half your hotel if you go to harass FAZIO. That's true. That's true. It exists, that video. But that's a story for another day, isn't it? Yes. So didn't he say that FAZIO had no money and he wouldn't be able to pay for a lawyer to defend himself? He said that too. Didn't he say that FAZIO was an overstayer? He said that too. That turned out to be false. Didn't he say that FAZIO wouldn't have the money to leave the Philippines? He said that too. And I went to Vietnam for 12 days, 13 days, whatever it was. Didn't he say that FAZIO wouldn't have the money to leave the country? He don't have the money for the tickets. He doesn't have the money for the motion of consideration. He's an overstayer. None of that was true. But he said it, and you people ran with it because you're a bunch of freaking mental midgets. You people, by going along with what the person that Kevin calls the frail man says and agreeing with the frail man when it goes against FAZIO, are dumber than the frail man for saying it, in my opinion. You are dumber than the Big Kevin for allowing other people to say it and not correcting it, except for DNC, Flying Circus, Scott Del Fuego, and a very few others. You've all, even Canway in the Philippines said that what happened to FAZIO was not right. But did he go out on a tirade? Did he make a video about it? No, because he wants to be part of the crowd. And as far as I'm concerned, he can kiss my ass for not defending what's right. I've never talked to him again after he gave Obama money. And I had an argument with him about it. And we were good friends. That's my moral, ethical code. You betray me just once, and we're done. I don't allow it to happen a second time. I don't want to be friends with Canway in the Philippines. After all the years we were friends, I would just disavow his existence. Except for that 3 weeks ago he said what happened to FAZIO wasn't proper. So he did say something, but he doesn't do it on a regular basis, and he doesn't have to. He doesn't need to defend me, but he allows you people to talk that smack about me, whereas on my channel, I don't allow you to talk smack about Scott or Dennis or Lewis or John Blaze. And was I right when the person that Big Kevin calls the frail man, John Blaze, is broke? He's a brokester. He's a nothing. He's a nobody. Yet, I have maintained that John Blaze is 10 times the man that the person that Kevin calls the frail man could ever hope to be. And he is. Maybe in that respect, not 10 times the man as the person Kevin calls the frail man. Maybe 10,000 times the man that Big Kevin calls the frail man is. Can the person that Big Kevin calls the frail man, can he say, I fly $1 million helicopters? Can the person who Kevin calls the frail man, can he say that I am FAA certified to teach helicopter flight instrumentation methodologies? The frail man can't do that. The frail man whose name Kevin made up, the frail man. So can the person who Kevin calls the frail man, can he say that I have a brand new some kind of $55,000 truck. Can the frail man, the man that Kevin says is the frail man, can he say he has a $55,000 truck? Remember now, the man who Kevin said calls the frail man. Remember, Kevin said the frail man by name. And then the frail man by name called John Blaze a fraud, and that he's broke, and that his girlfriend is not his wife, but it is his wife. That his girlfriend doesn't own property, and he owns quite a bit of property here. But Kevin allows that kind of crap to be posted on his channel. But where I was going with this, I have maintained that John Blaze, and I will still maintain it, if you really knew what John Blaze did for a living, most would be jealous. Most of you wouldn't believe the authority that John Blaze holds. Most of you couldn't comprehend the certificate holding, the holding certificates that John Blaze has to teach aircraft flight instrumentation, ILS, things like that. You couldn't comprehend John Blaze's government notoriety, okay? You couldn't even entertain what John Blaze is capable of. And I knew this since the get-go, and I've said it since the get-go. And John Blaze has shared this with me since the get-go. And I have said that John Blaze is more of a man than anybody else as far as being truthful. He's never lied. You're the ones who said he was broke, not me. I'm the one who said he was married. And the person who Kevin calls the frail man, he said he doesn't have any money. Well, he has spent, let me just give you an idea. This is directly to Big Kevin and the person he calls the frail man, direct to you, okay? John Blaze has shown, this is what he's shown. He has shown, in order from low to high, a $10,000 chicken coop for his wife, who he is married to, Filipina. He has shown a $10,000 wood and coal burning stove and a brick wall behind the stove. That's $20,000. He has shown a $55,000 truck. That's $75,000. He has shown a $60,000 Bobcat. That's $130,000. He has shown a $185,000 tractor. That's $315,000 cash money. He has shown a $5,000 lawnmower. That's $240,000, $250,000, $240,000. He has shown a pole barn or metal barn, $75,000. That's $240,000 plus $75,000 is $315,000. He has shown $315,000 plus he has shown a camper van worth $60,000. That's $315,000 plus $60,000 is $375,000. He has shown the hay collecting unit. That's $10,000. So we're up to $385,000. He has shown a pole barn that cost about $30,000. That's rounded off to $420,000. He also owns a house that's worth about $100,000. That's $500,000. But the first $420,000 he bought in the last 2 years, cash, no bank loans, no mortgages. So he pissed away, spent, for those who are jealous, squandered $400,000 in cash. And yet we have morons on YouTube calling him broke and destitute And people like Big Kevin allowing that to go on their channel. People like the person he calls the Frail Man allowing content saying John Blaze is a loser. Because you people are jealous. You're just jealous. There's no other... Oh, and we're not even talking about... I didn't even mention John Blaze's property in the Philippines. And I won't. But he owns more property in the Philippines than the person that Big Kevin calls the Frail Man could ever own. Square footage wise and monetarily wise, he owns more property than the person that Big Kevin calls the Frail Man. You could never imagine what he owns, where he owns it, what he's going to do with it. So you people that make this stuff up and you go to the Big Kevin channel to talk smack about me or Daisy May, I still don't see any of you people putting $100 on the board. And look behind me. Let's just talk about Scott for a minute. Look what Scott gave me. I got two giant 6-pound cans of tuna fish. I got 10 Napolo, 10 giant jars of Hellman's mayonnaise. I got 4 giant jars of pepperoncinis, Vlasic pickles, all kinds of spices and things of that nature. Scott sent a whole ballot buying box. And also this. Oh, this is my favorite. Of all the stuff in the ballot buying box, he sent me a plastic digital vernier caliper, which when you push this little button here, it goes on. And then when you slide it, it gives you a digital readout. So that's about a 1/2 inch there. Okay. So, and it's accurate. It's accurate to within 1/1000th of an inch, according to my real vernier caliper, my metal one. Thank you, Scott. So, yeah, Scott, this week was a really good week. 10 bottles of mayonnaise. 10 Hellman's mayonnaise. Big bottles of Hellman's mayonnaise. Big, giant cans of tuna fish. Chunk, white tuna fish. And then dozens of other bottles of spices and pepperoncinis and various types of hot peppers and bell peppers and things like that, and vinegar and garlic and things. Thanks, Scott. So I just wanted to make note of that. So let's turn this around and see what else Scott has to say. That's why I don't allow you people to talk smack about anybody on my channel. That's why I block you. Scott, it's like a troop of monkeys. One doesn't act the same as all the others, even if it is completely benign defiance of group morals. The rest of the troop attacks madly due to the mental stress. That's from a psychological interpretation of this group think that Kevin, the hate speech that Kevin allows on his channel. And I have news for you. It will never change. You people come to my videos. Now you know darn well, all of you trolls know darn well, including Canoy, who used to be my friend and is my friend no longer. I don't even want you as a friend, okay? And he's the only example that I can use because he mentioned that he defended me once among 100 times, which is okay. But you people allow this stuff to happen and don't correct the people that are saying the lies and the negativity, okay? For me, that's not acceptable. You come to my channel, you know damn well I have the best content of any Philippines blogger. Nobody has anything close. I have hundreds of videos, diving, bunker boats, snorkeling, swimming, drone videos, the Lobach River cruise, the Chocolate Hills droned. Nobody has this stuff, just me. No, what other blogger has any kind of content? Nothing. Superman getting engaged to his girlfriend in Cebu from 9 years ago. Me at the Ayala Mall when it's completely empty. I'm the only person in the building at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's content. I agree. Philippines, okay, we could change the topic. That's okay. You want to change the topic? I'm cool with that. Philippine Samurai. The waffle flipper's goose is cooked, Michael Fazio. I agree. And I will tell you why I agree. Even my content would have saved the waffle flipper. You go back and look at my videos, live streams, saying, Barry, don't put your face in the video and make threats. He can use that in a court of law. Don't put your face in the video and make... Had Barry listened to me, there would have still been videos of Barry's face making threats in the videos, but not dozens of them. So now, the person that Kevin calls the Frail Man has hundreds of videos of threats being made by the waffle flipper. Because the waffle flipper, I knew the law. I told the waffle flipper the law. I explained to him the law. I begged him to stop putting his face in videos and making threats. And instead he turned around and laughed at me when I got attacked. So at that point, all bets were off. Have at it with him. Have at it with him. Only thing I ask of Barry Jordan is that he allows the first $1,500 or $2,000 that's collected to go directly to Shah. She's got that much money out for a motorcycle and a personal loan in her family. From what I understand, I believe that's true. I believe Shah should get the first $1,500. I don't believe the lawyer should get the first monies. I believe Shah should be made whole first, and then when the waffle flipper proves that he has some integrity, then he gets more super chat because he did the right thing. Let Shah put her Gmail account up. He said, don't give money to Shah. Give it to me, and I'll make sure Shah gets it. When has the waffle flipper ever made a promise and kept it? Never. When has the waffle flipper ever told the truth about anything? For 5 years he maintained that his passport was up to date. Never has he told the truth about that. When has the waffle flipper ever given anybody else anything? He has stolen money from Dimples. Big Pennsylvania trucker gave the waffle flipper $25,000 the waffle to give to Dimples. So here's an example of the waffle flipper who was supposed to pass the money on to Dimples stealing 11,000 pesos from Dimples. Everybody knows this. It's all been out in the open. So he was given $25,000 to give to Dimples. He kept $11,000. Why would we believe that he would give Dimples Shah anything? I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. But if he proved it, yes, that first $1,500, $2,000 goes to Shah. Here it is. And Shah gets on video saying, here's the money. Thank you, Barry. I still love you and I want to still marry you. But that's not what's happening. Barry said, don't give Shah the money. Give it to me and I'll make sure Shah gets it. That's not reasonable. That's not fair, and it's not believable. He can't be trusted. That's about what it boils down to. So if he wants to be trusted, here's how to do it, waffle flipper. You make sure that the money that was collected, get a number from Shah, what she has laid out for the motorcycle, which is not yours. I want to see receipts for the motorcycle. We want to see receipts for the motorcycle. We want to know how that was it used, the money for the lawyer used for the motorcycle? Did Shah take out a loan for the motorcycle? We want to see the motorcycle paid off, and we want Shah to be in a video stating that Barry doesn't owe me anything. Barry owes me $100. Barry owes me $1,500. Barry owes me $200. Barry owes me $2,000. Whatever it is, we want to see Shah's face, and we want to see Shah's Gmail account, and we want to see Barry say, please give this money to Shah to compensate for what she's laid out for me. Not, don't give Shah money, I'll make sure she gets the money. That's never going to happen. And talking about Shah and money, the big cheese, you are the lowest of the lowest of the lowest forms of subhuman slime on YouTube for asking Shah permission for Shah to enter into your harem. You are one of the lowest forms of bloggers that I've ever seen in my entire life. You embarrassed that woman, and 24 hours later, she had to take every picture of Barry off her Facebook because you, Big Cheese, with your amoral personality, and that's what it is, amoral. You have no morals whatsoever. To ask a man that's behind bars if you can bring his girlfriend into your sexual harem, knowing he's behind bars, knowing that you give him money every month, seems really close to being on the edge of extortion. You are a low-class blogger, Big Cheese. Everybody knows this now. Everybody is using my talking points. Popeye used them. Roberto used them. Nobody mentioned Shah until I stipulated that Shah should get paid first. A few people mentioned Shah, but then when I made it a talking point that Shah gets paid first, you didn't. The Big Cheese. All you wanted was to have another conquest through what I call possible extortion for a man that's in jail. Is it okay that your girlfriend becomes part of my harem? You said that. You're a low-class subhuman being, in my opinion. Subhuman, not even human. And you pretend? You're like you pretend to be like the Henry Kissinger, who is certainly one of the most evil men that has ever lived. You are like Henry Kissinger. I will talk very nice to you. I will call you a wingnut. I won't curse at you. And I will do everything possible behind your back. I will support every lowlife on YouTube. I will give money to every worthless blogger. She, in my opinion, she was funny, she was humorous, she was worthless. No content. Nothing at all. Just boobs and lipstick. And that giant wart she had on her cheek that I can never get out of my mind. Barry, no content. A couple of motovlogs in some kind of like 320 resolution where half of it skipped out. He went to a waterfalls once, and he showed you a video of the waterfalls. He didn't go in the waterfalls. He didn't go in the water. He doesn't go in the water. He's never been in the water. He lived in Mobile, in a beautiful place to go swimming and diving. Dive boats everywhere around. He never went in the water. He has no content. And you support no content. The Big Kevin has no content. You support the Big Kevin with no content. The Chi Corsairs, whose content was basically sexually orientated, and people used to go to see how she covered up that freaking wart that she had on her face. That was, I don't know, man. When the light she didn't have that round light on her face. It kind of looked like one of those big giant black mushrooms, the ones that like that they like a sponge mushroom. It was really weird, and it took away a lot of her beauty. She's not an ugly girl by any means, but that giant wart, man, with all the money that you gave her, you would have thought she would have corrected that. Simple laser surgery would have got rid of the one over here and the one over there. That detracted from her beauty. But that's besides the point. She had no real content. A few times she showed us emptying out the coin boxes from the computer, the money for the computer. That was interesting. I never saw anything like that before, and it was nice that she had an income. But worthless vlogs besides that. Big Kevin, no vlogs. The man who Big Kevin calls Frail Man, no vlogs. Barry, the waffle flipper, no vlogs. And those are the people that you support. Chi, Barry, Kevin, and the waffle flipper. The waffle flipper, Chi, Big Kevin, and Barry. That's twice I put Barry in there. Twice I put Barry in there twice because God knows how much money the big cheese is sending Barry. Maybe it's a subliminal thing. God is telling me that he's given Barry not 200 but 400 a month, and that's why God made me say it twice. Oh, and the waffle flipper and God, give me a freaking break. Give me a freaking break. The waffle flipper and God, really? I believe in God. The waffle flipper and God. This is the most sanctimonious, hypocritical nonsense. And who goes along with it? The big cheese. Because he's trying to justify helping the waffle flipper. And maybe he's going to get out, the waffle flipper. And maybe he's going to get to go back to America. None of that I care about. All I care about is the truth. The waffle flipper owes Shah money. She should get her money first. Anything else you want to talk about there, Philippines? Samurai? So, what I'm going to do right now, being that nobody gave me $100 to show you Daisy's chat, and I would have showed you Daisy's chat where I said I'm sending money. Don't send money. Don't send me any money. I don't want your money, Michael Fazio. Please don't send me money with prayer hands and all of that. I had already sent it. So it wouldn't make a difference what she said, but she does not, never has asked me for a dime. And that money is part DNC gave me $30, and I swore to DNC she got that money. I can show you that screenshot, DNC, in the mail, but I know you believe me. I got to get some water. I'm waterless. I got to get some cold water. I've talked for going on now 35 minutes. I've been talking without taking a glass of water. I need a little water. 35 minutes is a long time to talk without getting a little bit of H2O in the system. I've been talking for 35 solid minutes non-stop. And has the big cheese sent me $100 to prove me wrong? Has the worthless Big Kevin's channel sent me any money to prove me wrong? Come on, you big dote, D-O-T-E, you big dote. Come on, prove me wrong, Kevin. Show me how I've not been friends with Daisy May. Come on, Big Kevin. Send me $100. I'll prove what a liar, fraud, and fake your channel is. And how you've gotten through with this, away with this for the last 5 years. You have nothing at all. Nothing at all do you have to offer the people of YouTube, Big Kevin. You've never had anything but hate and diatribes for the people of YouTube, Big Kevin. And you have no reason to come back to the Philippines whatsoever. No reason at all. Barry in America. Okay, here we go. This is the real Barry. Let's see what Barry has to say. Okay, so Barry, this is the real Barry, by the way. So we don't know. We don't know. We have Barry's word for it. Barry says, this is the real Barry. Barry says, ain't no money. I believe there's no money owed on the bike. I believe that. But I don't believe that you paid for it. It was paid for from my income. Maybe with Super Chat income, yes. Okay, that's possible. But what was that income originally for? That's my question. But you don't know. I don't know. You're right, Barry. I don't know. And I will give her any money I need to. Well, but we'd rather hear it from Shah. Look, let's be realistic about this. Barry, in how many years have you made promises? Let's just be realistic. Maybe you're telling the truth right now. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt. How many times have you swore that your passport, immigration, and visa was up to date? 1,000 times? Okay. How many times? So you lied 1,000 times that your visa was up to date. I'm not knocking you. I'm saying that what you just said is true. I'm going to tell you what you just said. Let's just say that's true right here. Let's say this statement is true. Let's say it's true. You lied about your visa 1,000 times. Let's ask the question, how many times did you say that you were going to give Dimples the money, the $25,000 from PA Trucker, but you never gave her the money you took out of the $25,000? So that's a lie also. That's a big one. You got to admit that. If you don't admit it, well then that's okay. You don't have to admit it. But you lied about giving Dimples money. None of that money was ever for Dimples. Now, moving on, big PA Trucker gave you $500 to have your teeth fixed, and you got robbed, which is possible, but that money never went to fix your teeth. You lied about whose refrigerator it was when that fella, girlfriend, the German guy Goetz, you said it was your refrigerator. It wasn't your refrigerator, and she came and took it back, if I remember correctly. You said it was your stove, and it was your stove, but you lied about the refrigerator, and you said you bought the refrigerator. You said that. I heard it. So you have a history of saying stuff that's just not true. So today, when you say that you will make sure Shah gets her money, maybe that's true. But nobody believes it because your history says that you will say one thing and do another. You can't say that about me. Never has anybody given me money where it didn't go. There's a guy on here, to give you an example. There's a fella on here. I don't like calling him a guy because his position in life is even more prestigious than John Blaze, okay? So I call him a guy, I call him a man, I call him a fella, but his position in life is way, way more prestigious than John Blaze in oh so many ways. And he's been my friend for many, many years. So there's a guy on here that gave me money to do something. And because I couldn't do that thing, I said to him, I can't do that thing. I'm going to send you back to... No. He said no. And I said, yeah, okay. I'm not taking no for an answer. And I sent him back his money because I couldn't do the thing I promised to do. So I'm the only person on YouTube that's ever And we're not talking about 50. We're not talking about 100. We're not talking about 150. We're not talking about $200. We're talking about way more than $200. I sent it back. So you may be telling the truth today, but your history says that you may not be telling the truth today. So Barry in America, he has, let me get a little water and then I'll get back to that. I'm going to go with you, Barry, because I want, you know, Barry, you put everybody between a rock and a hard place. A lot of people don't like you, and a lot of people don't like the man that Kevin calls the frail man. So it's a question of who hates whom more. That's a tough decision to make, even for somebody with high intellect. Let me, this is a full bottle of water. I'm not going to do the whole bottle. See the water jiggling around over there? I'm going to do 4 gulps and 7 bubbles, and this is cold. Ready? Oh, that's cold. That's really cold. That's so cold it froze my throat. All right, let's go back to Barry. Barry says, no, Barry. It is everybody's business. Let's get that straight right now. It's everybody's business. You're asking for money to do a certain thing. You're asking for money, promising that that money is going. Why can't I turn this around? You're asking for money. Oh, come on. Hold on. You're asking for money to go to a cause. It's everybody's business where that money goes. You're asking for money, telling people that Shah will get her money, and we don't see Shah getting any money. So it is everybody's business. We also can have feelings for Shah. I don't like Shah. I don't dislike Shah. I don't care one way or another what Shah's life is about. But if she gave you money to do something, she should be paid back first. Then people will elevate their thoughts about you to a higher level, and you'll get more donations for doing the right thing. That's true. So I can't argue with you because you're at a disadvantage, but it is everybody's business. It's everybody's business because you made it everybody's business. And it does affect other people's lives. You have affected Shah's life by saying you should have, when the question was posed to you on a, will you accept a 3-way between Shah and somebody else? You should have said, that's crazy thinking. Don't talk about things like that. You embarrassed that woman, and the next day she took all your pictures off her Facebook page. You made it everybody's business. You're the one who made it everybody's business, not me. 28 bubbles, 4 bulbs, 7 bubbles each. So I don't want to knock you down because personally, Barry, my personal opinion about you is I hope you kick his ass. I hope you beat the whole thing from start to finish. Even though I don't like you, even though you made fun when I was attacked, I still hope you win. Okay, so that's my opinion about you. Because you have to choose a side. Everybody has to choose a side. I would choose your side over his side every day. But it only means I hate him more than I hate you. That's true. I don't like you and I don't like him. That's true. But you made it everybody's business by asking everybody for super chat and money. You made it a public business. Give me money. What is the money being used for? There should be accountability when you ask for money. Business is business. Good business is to be above board and show where the money is going. Penny for penny, every penny has to be accounted for. Now, we saw some receipts last week that may or may not add up to a great sum of money, but that's a good start for sure. It's certainly a good start. But we're not seeing where you collected 150,000 pesos for a lawyer. We're not seeing receipts for that. We're not seeing all the receipts for all the money, for all the things you collected money for. We're just recently seeing 20,000 pesos worth of receipts. But you made it everybody's business when you started e-begging in a public venue. You made it people's business. That's true. Anybody on here disagree with me? Feel free to disagree with me. Because when I asked for something, aka the drone, and people gave me the money for the drone, I bought the drone. In fact, I collected $1,000 for the drone, and I bought a $1,300 drone. And I bought the drone before I was finished collecting $1,000. That's above board good business. Then people knew that I bought the drone. The money was not wasted. No one ever said he collected money and didn't buy the drone. Even the driver of the short bus from Kentucky, he didn't even deny it. Not that I know of. I asked people for money to buy a drone to go do a specific thing. They sent me the money. Long before the monies were all together collected, I bought the drone. I collected about 1,000. I spent 1,300 and change, plus the case, plus an extra battery, plus 4 sets of propellers, plus a case to cover it for a sunscreen. So I spent well over $1,500, and I collected 1,000. That's a good business. You show people that you're going to give Shah the money and that she has the money in her hand, you're going to collect twice as much donations. I'm trying to help you, Barry. I've tried to help you for a year and a half, but you're too ignorant to understand that people have tried to help you, and look at where that got you. Barry, I'll ask you a question, yes or no, just yes or no. Did I tell you to stay off YouTube? Don't put your face in the video. Don't threaten anybody with your face in the video. Did I say that to you? I'm not going to say another word for at least 2 minutes until I see an answer on the board. 2 minutes from now and counting. It's 11:41. At 11:43, I ask you this question one more time. Did I tell you, don't put your face in the video, don't mention anybody's name, and you can't get an affidavit against you? Yes or no? 2 minutes. Okay, you answered the question. You're a grown man, and nobody tells you to do nothing. Okay, I got that. Okay. Well, that's now that is truth. So let's just go to the comment above you for a moment. Mr. Philippines. Now, one thing that, Barry, let me tell you right now, there's probably people watching this live stream that you don't want to say the wrong thing on, okay? I don't know who's watching it. You don't know who's watching it. No one knows. There might be. Now, I did not notify anybody, but this fella, Mr. Philippines, just made me aware, and that he said, it is the business of Filipino people who are in our country and what they do wrong. It is the business. So this is a Filipino talking. So apparently there's Filipinos watching this. I don't know if they're police officers, Bureau of Immigration. I have no idea who they are, but be careful what you say, Barry. So Barry goes on to say, and well, he should, and rightfully so, and the truthful statement is, I'm a grown man. Nobody tells me nothing. You said it, but I don't have to listen to nothing. That's true. But, okay, I got that. You're a grown man. And when you didn't listen, I gave up trying. Because you're not going to listen. We understand that. Do you want me to show them right now our Facebook, where you said what happened to you was wrong and so did the wrong thing? I have it recorded in video format. I can show you the video of your chat of how wrong it was for me to be attacked from behind. And then you made fun of it from the front, that I was attacked. You made fun of it in front of my face, that you made fun, that you were laughing till you fell on the floor. But in the video chat that I took a recording of, you said it was completely wrong what he did, and that if there was anything you could do to help me, you would do that. But then you changed sides. So you have a duplistic nature. I can show you that video. I won't, because you're in enough trouble as it is. But I can show you the video that I made of the chat. So it doesn't matter if the chat, I haven't been back to that chat in a long time, but I can show you how you defended me, said it was wrong for me to be attacked, and then later on changed your mind. So you have a propensity to switch sides. Whichever side the wind blows the best on, you're on that side. So your cohesion to the truth is zero. You only go with what works best for you on that given day. And what works best for you now is for you to get all the money, and you say you're going to give it to Shah. Maybe you will. Is it anybody's business? Yes. It's people's business, because you're asking in a public forum. And you are making promises to get money to get out of trouble. But people have lent you the money to get out of the trouble, and then you want to get the money back. You should pay those people back first. Show that you have integrity. I guarantee you people will give you more money, but you're not listening. If you showed that you had integrity, people would give you more money. I'm trying to help you again, but you're not listening. You don't have to listen to me. I'm not your boss. I'm just telling you, when you do the right thing, people will give you money to do the right thing. Because the truth is that more people hate your adversary than hate you. But you have proven more often that you can't be trusted. 1,000 times. 1,000 times you said your visa was up to date. You also said that if the police came, that you wouldn't go with them. And you went with them, which is a good and smart thing to do, because you have no choice. But you said you wouldn't do that. You also said you were going to go to a dusty island in the Philippines and do certain things. It's good you didn't go there. No one told you to do that. You took that upon yourself, but I told you stop. You know I told you to stop saying that shit, and you didn't listen. So, you are in a pretty tough position right now. Maybe doing the right thing by Shah will get you more money. Or you have that Mr. Big Cheese who has an unlimited amount of money to help you and could bail you out in 30 minutes. You know it. I know it. The big Kevin knows it. Scott knows it. Dennis knows it. Lewis knows it. Gogo Bobo knows it. Everybody knows that the Big Cheese could write you a check, just like he wrote Kevin a check for the Bureau of Immigration for $5,000 or $7,000. Everybody knows he could get you your arrears, your Bureau of Immigration. Everybody knows he could get your Bureau of Immigration arrears paid for in one day. It wouldn't affect his bottom line at all. But he's not doing that. But he might do that. But first he wanted to get Shah into his harem. That's extortion, in my opinion. And you allow that. You should have denied him access to your cell, denied him access to the building, told him, don't you ever ask me about the woman I love. That's my opinion. But no, because you also have an amoral personality. All right, Barry, I don't want to argue with you there. I really don't want to. I hope that you kick that other guy's ass, okay? I hope you're out next week. I hope the Big Cheese pays for you just to piss off the person that let's say 55% of the people hate him and 45% hate you. I hope that the biggest percentage of the people that hate a certain blogger the most win, that you're free and clear next week. And then I hope you get to stay in the Philippines too, just to piss him off. Okay, for no other reason than to piss him off. I hope that for you. I'm serious, because I don't care one way or the other. That guy is by far worse than you, in my opinion, by far. Not even close. Maybe it's 55% hate for him and 45% for you, but for me, it's a bigger percentage. Okay? For me, that's a bigger divide. For me, you would be free tomorrow, free to roam the Philippines anywhere you wanted to go with money in your pocket. But I'm not going to give you any money because you've betrayed me twice. You betrayed me when I gave you advice, and you betrayed me when you thought it was funny that I got attacked. So from me, you will get nothing other than well-wishing. I hope you get free. I hope the Big Cheese bails you out next week. I hope you're walking around free. I hope he gives you a pocket full of cash and you can go visit anybody you want. That would not affect me at one bit, because I hate him more than I hate you for betraying me twice. It's reasonable. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. He has caused more hate, more havoc, more distrust, done more things to more Filipinos and more people than you have. But the balance, it's not like this. It's like this for most people. For me, it's closer. You're over here. You're over here. He's over there. He has screwed way more people than you. But you have screwed a lot of people. So, for me, I hope you win. I hope that the Big Cheese gives you a pocket full of cash. I hope he gets you out. I hope you're free next week. And I hope you get to go visit the people that you want to go visit. Whoever it is. Because, in my opinion, you should win. But I'm not in charge of the money. The Big Cheese is. And he holds it over your head like a hammer. Duplistic means of two divergent thought patterns, nothing to do with smarts. A duplistic means you say one thing and do another. If you say one thing and do another, like I said to you, don't put your name and face and channel and his name and date and channel and face in a video. I said that to you. And then let's say I did it. I did the same thing. That's duplistic. That's saying one thing but doing another. Okay? It has nothing to do with smarts. It's when you say one thing and do another. But personally, I hope you get out next week. I hope the Big Cheese finally, instead of wasting his money on Kevin, who's never coming to the Philippines, he's got a soft spot in his heart for you. I hope he gives you the money. He can do that. You have no idea how much money he makes. Neither do I. But he makes a lot of money. We're not talking about $2,000, $3,000 a week. I would take a guess, Barry, that your buddy, the Big Cheese, for the kind of position that he has in life, even in Southeast Asia, is still pulling down somewhere between $4,000 and $6,000 a week for building level 4 laboratories with HVAC systems, designing them, building them, and then selling them. He probably gets a commission on that too. $4,000 a week. I think that's way more than that. He could do this with just 1 week's salary. But what did Big Kevin give you? Nothing. Gave you $2. It's an embarrassment. There's a lot of people out there that are rooting for you that wouldn't give you a dime because you never keep your word. You don't keep your word. There's just so many things, but we're not going to talk about that anymore. I'm going to let you relax. You got a lot of problems, Barry. You got a lot of problems. I hope you get over. I hope the Big Cheese hears this thing and says, let me show you what a big man I am, and pays your immigrant. But that's just the beginning. He knows that. But I hope he does that for you. I really do. He can, and there's no reason why he can't do it. None at all. He doesn't need the money. He has an abundance of money. More money than he could ever hope to spend. He says, I'm doing this. I'm buying a house here. I'm buying a house there. I'm buying a house there. If you saw his house, you would say this guy has more money than God. But you didn't see his house, okay? But if you did see his house, you would say he's got more money than God. And what color is his house? It's the color of Santa Claus. Just for the, when he listens to this, you don't think everybody knows where you live? They know. Yes, Scott. So anyway, that's what I got to say. I just see the hate. Yeah, and Barry, moving back to the hate, where you allow the hate to be on your channel. You allow some piece of garbage named Michael Mick to say stuff about me and Daisy. You allow Johnny Wad to say stuff about me. Even all of that crap that you allow on your channel, I still want to see you win. But one day, you're going to cross the line. And if it's in the Philippines, somebody will catch up with you, because you have made so many egregious things. What you said to Dimples, what you said about Flywood's girlfriend, what you allow people to say about Dimples and Flywood's girlfriend, and what you've said about the person that Kevin calls the frail man, what you've said about his girlfriend or wife, whatever it is, okay? What you've said, you laugh at certain things, but you're just as guilty or more so than anybody else on YouTube, except the person that Kevin calls the frail man. He's more guilty than you. And you know damn well what I'm talking about. You know damn well that the probability is high that the person that Kevin calls the frail man is responsible for what happened to you. You know damn well that's true. You know that for a fact. And let me tell you something, Barry. If I could talk to you in person, I would tell you stuff about what else he's done that I know about. But I can't. Okay? And I can't put it in public. But you're not the only person he did that to. And he's listening right now, and he knows what I'm talking about. In fact, there's no message for me right now. Oh, today is Sunday. Today's Sunday, right? Hold on a minute. Today's Sunday. Can't be a message. There's a lawyer working on something right now. On a group of questions that may or may not help you. Okay, and I put in a query, a series of questions, not to help you, but to help me. But they will help you by helping me. Okay, not that I care specifically about you. Had it just only been about you, I wouldn't go through the trouble. But there's 4 questions that are going to be asked a lawyer sometime this week, not my lawyer, as to what I can say on YouTube and what I can't in regards to something that happened to you, how it was done, who did it, and why. But that's all I can say. I'm going to tell you straight up that if the lawyer says he's going to give me parameters, what I could work with on YouTube, if he says okay, and then there's going to be parameters. If he says I can't, well, then it'll be a long time from now before the truth comes out. After everything is said and done, I'll be able to tell the truth on YouTube and prove it. Before everything is said and done with a specific issue, there have been promises made not to bring the topic up at all, with names, dates, places, videos, things like that. So you have something, I have something that might be answered in the affirmative that will help you a lot. But I don't know that that's going to happen. But I did put the questions out there, and there's going to be a lawyer that's going to answer those questions sometime this week. I don't know what day. And if it's negative, I won't mention it again. And if it's positive, I will mention it again. And I'll make it public as public can be. So you have no idea, even though I don't like you, I don't like you less than I don't like him. And that's a fact. Scott says, I was explaining to Barry in America. Yes, right. Barry in America is the name of that. So Barry in America is the real Barry, by the way. Okay, so we don't have a lot of people commenting, which is okay. So everything I said in this live stream is true and accurate. Nobody put $100 up on the chat to say that Daisy didn't. Daisy quantifiably 100%, 1,000%. You know what I'm going to do right now? DNC, are you here? I'm gonna get that. If DNC is here, I'm going to. Thank God I didn't have this turned around. I'm going to Daisy's chat right now, and then I'm going to look for the $100 that I sent her that she did not want. She said, don't send me money. I don't want your money. Please don't send me your money. So DNC, because you sent $30 specifically for Daisy, just to let you know I tell the truth anyway, but I'm gonna screenshot it right now. It's way up here. Okay, I'm looking for the... okay, there's going to be two screenshots. There's going to be two screenshots in DNC's mail in about 5 minutes. Of me sending Daisy money that she didn't want. I don't want your money. Please don't send your money. I don't need money. And still, you could tell me don't send money, but it means nothing to me. So DNC, okay, let's put this here. There's going to be two screenshots. And the title is going to be Daisy, D-A-I-S-Y 100. And this is after you sent me that money, DNC. Okay, so we're going to go here. And this is the first one. And this is going to be the second one. Just to let you people know. So this is... there's going to have to be three. There's going to have to be three screenshots. Because the second one doesn't quite get to the... So the third one is the screenshot of the AN number for the Palawan, I sent her $100, and 30 of that was DNC, who said send Daisy money. And the third one has the AN number, and I think that was May 11th. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So DNC, that's in your mailbox proof. The DNC would never question my word. But I'm sending it to him so that you people will know I don't lie about this crap. And then he can confirm it. So if you don't believe me and you don't believe DNC, then you're not believing the two most honest people on YouTube. Ever. Besides Aloe. Aloe is a very honest man. Good man, Aloe is. Funny as all get out. Aloe got some ideas coming up that's going to rock your world. Okay, then I've been now talking for going on, oh man, it's going on 40 minutes now. Let me finish my water. Maybe I get another 5 or 6 minutes out of this bottle. That was the perfect temperature to drink water. I could drink the whole bottle like that, but I'm cutting back. I'm cutting back on water. I was drinking 10 liters a day before my operation when I was doing some walking and oddball work and stuff. 10 liters a day. Every day. Every day. 10 liters. Every day. But now I do 10 liters every two and a half days. I cut down half because I'm not moving around, and that just bloats you up. I don't need any water because I'm not working or walking. And I would be droning right now, but I told you I want to have a sunny day. We haven't had a sunny day because of this Cyclone Betty. I want the sun to be high. I want the water to be relatively high, the tide coming in, because that's when the water is the cleanest. and then I want to go up. I'm going to take the restrictions off the drone and go up. There's a 700-foot restriction, flight restriction now, because of what's called the TCA, Terminal Control Area, which is an inverted cone over an airport. So the airport is like 2 miles at the base, but as you go up higher, the TCA increases to up to 35,000 feet. It could be 10 miles, 15 miles. So right now, I'm not in the TCA until I go over 1,000 feet. And there are flights in the TCA that I see, but the flights are west of me a mile, or half a mile to a mile. Depends on the wind and the drift. So if I go straight up 1,500 to 2,000 feet, the drone is going to stop at 700 feet. But if I go straight up and I take off the governor, I take off the restrictions, I say unrestricted flight, I could go up. It says 9,000 feet. You could go up. I guess my batteries would die at 5,000 feet because even though I bought brand new batteries, they're junk. They're good batteries. They're DJI batteries, and it's a good drone, DJI drone. But the batteries from day one were never. They say 31 minutes on a charge, hovering right in front of you at 3 feet, just hovering. Maybe I got 24 minutes hovering. They say 24 minutes of flight time. Maybe I get 14 minutes of flight time. They lied. Or I got bad batteries. So, but I'm going up 2,000. I won't go higher than 2,000 feet. And I can't go higher than 2,000 feet today, even though I want to. Because at ground level, there might be a 5-mile-an-hour wind, or 5 knots. At 100 feet, though, even 2 days ago, it said the wind is too high. Return drone to a safe elevation. And at 150 feet, it said, screw you, the drone will now fly home, because I put the drone in jeopardy. The drone droned home. The drone just said, the drone will now return to home base. It's in danger of high wind, high crosswinds. So the drone, now if I took it out of restricted mode, this is a smart drone. It's amazing how it knows. What's really amazing is if you go against the wind, you might be able to go a half a mile against the wind. And then it'll say, battery too low, return drone to home base. So you go a half a mile this way in the wind, against the wind. But if there's no wind, it might go a mile. So it knows if it's going against the wind, how much energy. It's like a meter in a car. The car says you're going 40 miles an hour and you're getting 40 miles to a gallon of gas. But if you're going 60 miles an hour, then you're burning 60 gallons an hour. The drone knows how much electric the battery is being used. How it knows that, I don't know. It knows if there's crosswinds. How it knows that, I don't know either. It has sensors on it. It's a good drone, as drones go. But I want to go up, fly it up. I want to fly it. So no matter how high I fly, I'll never be in the path of an airline cruising, because the path is to the west about half a mile to a mile. It's hard to judge because they're already up 2,500 to 3,000 feet. So I'm not going that high to begin with. I don't, I'm not, it's hard to judge when the plane is over there. If I saw it every day and I knew the exact real measurements, then you could say I know it's 3,000 feet high and 3/4 of a mile over that way. My best guess is it's 3,000 feet high and 3/4 of a mile west. So, that's it. That's all I got. Anybody have a question? Man, I got an itchy nose. That's another thing, that e-beggar Kevin. He makes like, I have an itchy hand. That means I'm going to get money. Send me super chat. Freaking, you call me an e-beggar? Without your e-begging, without your sponsor, Kevin, you would be so poor you wouldn't even be able to afford the internet. Because you have no skills. You have no pizzazz. You have no content. Without your e-begging skill, you would be nothing. You would be like who you call the frail man. He's just really good at e-begging. He's been doing it his whole life. And now is no exception to the rule. I'll just put my Gcash out there in case anybody wants to donate to the lawyers' fees, because they were great. But 1 month ago, the person who Kevin calls the frail man had an argument with somebody and said, you don't know how much money I collected. I've collected $2,700. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the man who Kevin calls the frail man said. I've collected $2,700 for the lawyer. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't care. But $2,700, and now he has more expenses. That's e-begging on a whole different level. Plus, he doesn't need the money. He could buy 3 cars. He could buy another house, another property. You don't need the money. But I'll just send out my Gmail in case you want to help me with my expenses. He's probably on par. Kevin e-begging is here, and Kevin, the man he calls the frail man, is here. But he's really here because he has way more money and doesn't need the money. So he's e-begging when he doesn't need the money. So that makes him a bigger e-beggar than Kevin, in my opinion. If you don't need the money, and you could buy 3 brand new cars, 3 brand new cars, if you can throw X amount of dollars on the table, if you can buy this piece of land or that piece of land, if you have a cashier's check for this much money, then you have money not to e-beg. So now it just becomes, part of your nature that you want stuff for free, which is what you've done your entire life. Everybody knows this. It's not a hidden attribute. This is one of your more outstanding flaws, that you yourself can't make an honest living. Oh, of course you did earn your Social Security. There's no doubt about that. But if it came to you making an honest living, probably Kevin had a better chance of making an honest living than you. That's probably true. And that's not saying much at all. So at this point, you know what I'm going to do? Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get... you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. Daisy May and I were talking about her family needs a new roof. And with the money that I sent Daisy, this has nothing to do with the money I sent her, but I sent her money on the 11th of May. Now, last week, her family wanted money to buy metal shelving, metal roof, the waffle sheathing. And She didn't ask me for money, and I'm not sending money for her family's roof. But I'm going to get Daisy Mae's Gmail account, and I'm going to put that on my channel from now on. So you can help Daisy Mae buy a new roof for her family if you want. But I won't. I guess I could get a Gmail. I don't have a Gmail. But I'm going to put Daisy Mae's Gmail account on. Because if one guy can e-beg and deserves nothing, because all he has is hate on his channel, and another guy who's even a better e-beggar, who has everything, according to him, the beautiful wife, the beautiful house, the beautiful painted walls, the beautiful generator, the beautiful family, and the beautiful, he eats beautiful pizza. He's got everything is beautiful. He takes the beautiful walks. He puts his feet in the ocean all the way up, halfway up his knees in the beautiful ocean. He can e-beg. The big Kevin can e-beg. I'm going to put Daisy's Gmail up there. But you can help Daisy buy a new roof for her house, because she bought her family some of the roofing supplies when me personally, I would not give her family the roofing supplies. She didn't ask me for it, but normally I would just give her what she needed, but not, no, and there's a reason for it. But I would never discuss that on YouTube. But had I had a different frame of mind, she would have mentioned she needs a new roof for our family's house. I would just send her the money. The money I sent her was long before the family mentioned that they needed a new roof. It's an amazing thing. They come into a little bit of a windfall, and then the family has a problem that they need the money. Now, they don't know about the money I sent her, but there was other monies from something. Well, she's got a job. So she's got a job. She's fair game. That's just the way it works here in the Philippines. All right, then I'm going to go back to my... I'm going to go back... my channel. Scott, are you still awake? I called Jack before. He's not awake. He's not able to answer the phone. Scott is long sleeping. Okay. All right, then, ladies and gentlemen. Barry, I wish you luck. I'm serious as I can be. I hope you kick his ass, Barry. I hope that Big Cheese takes a lousy small percentage of his salary and pays all your debts. And I'm saying it serious. That guy has enough money to pay your back immigration fees. It wouldn't make a damn bit of difference to him. Nothing at all. No difference at all to his bank account, to his investments. He says he can live off of his investments, Coca-Cola, and his stock investments alone from 30 years ago pays his bills. His $3,000 or $4,000, $5,000 a week salary, icing on the cake for the 3 houses that he owns, including the one in America. He's got more money than he needs. He could pay off Barry's debt with one check. He could go there, find out what it is. If he hasn't done that already, here's a check. What can we do? Here's my offer. How do we make this happen? And the guy gives him a name and a date on it. But he knows there's more to it than just the immigration at this point, maybe. But I hope he does that for you. And then I hope you stay in the Philippines. And then I hope that you hide your face on the screen. I hope you hide your face on the screen and go back to doing what you do best. And with that, I'll say Amping Permi from Michael Fazio and Daisy Mae in the Philippines. DNC. DNC is here. Hey, DNC, I sent you mail. I sent you 3 screenshots of Daisy saying she didn't want me to send your money, and then more money, Don't send me money. Please don't send me money, Michael Fazio. Please, I don't want your money, Michael Fazio. And then I sent you the AN number and the amount. So just because I told you I would send it, of course I did. But I was trying to prove a point on here. This way, if someone says, did Fazio really send Daisy May $100? Which is not much, but I did that. So, and that's because you made me send her 30, and I said, well, I'll just make it an even 100. Of course, Daisy's just a sweetheart, which is why I don't let people talk about Daisy May. And Big Kevin, you keep talking about Daisy May, I'll just keep making videos saying how wrong it is for you to talk about Daisy May. And I won't stop. You won't stop. I won't stop. Eventually, I'll wear people down the same way I wear them down with my talking points. People realize they know I'm telling the truth. Nobody's ever caught me in a lie. So if I've not lied about anything, eventually they'll just get the hint that you're not spending the money the way you're supposed to be. You're never coming to the Philippines to see your children. You've said that for years, but your children don't live here. Your children live in Australia. Why aren't you begging for money to go to Australia? Not only that, you're never going to even come to the Philippines. So somebody paid off your immigration. You can't live here. It's too hot for you. What are you going to do when you get here? Come on, Kevin. You didn't answer any of these questions. What are you going to do when you get here? What are you going to do when you get here? What? Going to walk around? Ilo? You're going to go hang out with the family? The family that did to you what they did? You're going to go hang out with them? What are you going to do? You're going to start another pool hall and start drinking alcohol again? You're going to end up in the same position you were last time. What are you going to do when you get here, Kevin? Okay, so those are my questions. Scott Del Fuego, actually, Scott and I keep in touch, but yesterday there was a big hoopla, big hurrah in Chicago, a big event that Scott went to. And he's got projects. He's got projects going on. He's staying. We talk almost every day, but he's got a lot of things going on in the background. So he's been around, but he doesn't watch YouTube like he used to. He's got other stuff that he's doing, and he's got no deadline, but he's got things that he wants to get done by a certain date. It's a self-imposed deadline, so you don't see Scott on here much. All right, then, DNC, you got mail. Barry, thanks for stopping by. I hope the Big Cheese pays all your money, everything. I hope that Shah gets her money, too. I hope that you get out. I hope you stay in the Philippines, and I hope you go back to doing what you were doing without your face in the video. And I hope you ruffle some feathers, because I don't like you, but I don't like you way more. The other guy way more. That's a fact. So if I had to pick a winner, Barry is the winner. But it's not up to me. Everybody knows that the majority of people in this genre hate the other guy more than they hate Barry. No one likes you, Barry. But no one hates you as much as they hate him. You're between a rock and a hard place, Barry. Okay, then, ladies and gentlemen. And if I get that answer from the lawyer, Barry, I will... I'll send you some information that might help you somewhere along the line. Barry, there's a good chance that Barry can stay. I mean, look, here is the big chance. No chance unless Big E gets involved, because there's not going to be enough money through Super Chat. Doesn't appear that way. But if Big E gets involved, there's no limit on his checkbook, bank account, cash. If Big E gets involved, he could bail Barry out like that in one day. If it's possible to bail Barry out, Big E could do it. And apparently he could do it. Monetarily wise, if there's a monetary number put on Barry's freedom, Big E could match that number and set Barry free. But, of course, the guy that Kevin calls the frail man, there is, I don't know, I heard a story this morning that the case against Barry for various cyber libel crimes is close to being presented. I don't know, because he has a propensity to tell half-truths as well. So maybe Big E is waiting for that other shoe to drop. But Big E, you could bail Barry out. No one would, you would be the hero. You want to be the big cheese. Everybody will love you. Then they'll go against me, and they'll go against the frail, the person that Kevin calls the frail man. You could be the hero of YouTube. It won't change your psychopathic, narcissistic, evil, in my opinion, personality disorders, Big E. You are always going to be, in my opinion, a man who has sold his soul, indirectly or directly, for fame and fortune and prestigious posturing in the world, money, and especially sensual favors for you. That is an amoral person, and I believe, and I'm being serious, that you are a sadistic, narcissistic psychopath for doing what you did. And my only big proof of that is that you embarrassed Shah by asking Shah to become part of your harem in front of her future husband, knowing that he had no option other than to say yes. And you put her between a rock and a hard place and you squeezed. That is evil, Big E. In my opinion, that's evil. That is evil, that you utilized that much leverage against Barry. That's evil, in my opinion. Don't make any mistake about it. I'm not kidding. What you did was sadistic, in my opinion. It was of a sadistic nature. Totally amoral. Without morals. Totally. You did one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen done on YouTube. You asked a woman who has no choice other than to say yes to be part of your harem, knowing that she needs money to get the person she loves out of jail. She's going to do anything for you. But Barry, you're not much better by allowing him to say that. Had I been you in your place, I would have told that man to leave my presence, leave my girlfriend alone, never come back. I never want to talk to you again, ever. But you too have sold your eternal soul in oh so many ways, in my opinion. What he did was pure, unadulterated evil. Even Popeye sees this now. And also to the big cheese, there are so many people that you believe are your friends that know that you did wrong. Most of them won't say anything because nobody badmouths the man with the bread except some ignorant, woke, cancel culture guy like Michael Fazio who has nothing going for him in his life. Somebody like Scott Del Fuego, who you can't put your thumb on any of my friends. You can't control me. You can't control any real person with real achievements in their life. We have all seen through your nonsense. The people that you think are your friends, They're not. And I'm not saying it to hurt your feelings. I'm saying it because when you did that to Barry's girlfriend, they saw the other side, the evil that men do. The kinjute, so to speak, the Charles Bronson kinjute, as what you are. You are a sadistic human being. I'm not kidding. You're a sadistic human being. And you revel in that. And because you have money, you have so many people that are kissing your butt. Oh, he's a great guy. He's a great. Oh, thanks for the money you sent in the mail. Thanks for the super chat. Oh, gee, that was really nice of you. And then the big cheese. You could use that money any way you want. Thousands of dollars he sends to people. He buys their worthless souls for a few rubles. He buys their friendship. Popeye finally saw the light. I'm Big Permy from Michael Fazio and Daisy May in the Philippines. Popeye is number one, baby. You go look at Popeye's latest live stream. He tries to show you the truth. He's showing you the truth. And he's using Fazio's talking points. DNC, thanks for stopping by. Everybody else, Barry, thanks for stopping by. Scott, thanks for stopping by. Philippine Samurai, thanks for stopping by. Everybody, thanks for stopping by. Of course, I'm Ping Permy, which means take care always. And Mike Dowdy, thanks for stopping by. I actually wanted to talk to you on Facebook, Mike. Are you available? I'll wait for your answer. Nothing important. And Freebird enjoyed the show. Freebird, I saw you last night sticking up for me. Thank you. I saw those comments. I saw that. Thank you very much, Freebird. I happen to be. I don't think I'm not sure whether I saw something live or was it on repeat, but I did see it. Anytime, Mike Dowdy. Then give me 10 minutes to get another bottle of water, and I'll call you in 10 minutes. Bill, good show. I was late. Didn't get the notification. You're welcome, says Freebird. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you. See, Freebird is another person like DNC, like a very few others have defended, knowing that I'm right, knowing that I'm not wrong, knowing that I didn't lie, knowing that I'm not fraudulating, committing fraud to anybody. There are a few good men out there, quite a few. Michael Dowdy is one of them as well. All right, then I'm going to say goodbye. Go watch Popeye's latest stream, and you'll see. Listen to Popeye's latest and his other stream. Listen to why Popeye is pissed at someone, and then understand that Popeye is right about that person. And then, for the third thing that you need to understand, there's a lot of people behind the scenes that are keeping their mouth shut, that Popeye is 100% right, because they don't want to make waves, so to speak. So Popeye, what Popeye says, he believes now to be the truth, and he's flip-flopped over the last few months. Other people now believe what Popeye says is true, and there's a lot of people believing what Popeye says is true, but we still have the butt kisses, kissing the big cheese's butt for a free ticket. Let me pay off your credit cards. Let me send you $200 a month. Let me take care of your immigration, with the potential of someone paying thousands of dollars. Not a lot of people can pass that up. Me personally, I'd rather eat rice for the next 5 years and save my money rather than kiss his butt. Ain't never gonna happen. And we're not even started with him yet. Popeye's using my talking points. Well, you should. Gotta go talk to Mike Dowdy. I'm Ping Permy Freebird once again. Thank you. And DNC. Bye-bye for now. From the Philippines and Daisy May I'm being permy, which means take care always. Bye bye for now.